Hey there, happy Sunday there, it's me, Curiosity Trader. Just gonna do a recap for the YouTube channel. The month of January is over. A lot of good things out of January. A lot of good setups, a lot of good momentum. So just gonna go over some things. Again, I do these every Sunday, just a catalog where I'm at in my trading process. So hopefully y'all enjoy. I'm just gonna go over pretty much what I'm watching for next week. Of course, everyone's been talking about silver. It's pretty much on the back side of the move now. Congrats to anyone who did short this. As I mentioned last week, I did try and I got stopped out, but it's fine. Of course, I missed this entire backside move, and it happens. Trading is not about, it's all about adapting, you know, and it didn't come to play. But right now, there's really no play on it. Ideally, there's going to be a bounce of some sort. I can't see this fading, so ideally watch this. Ideally, it's going to bounce off the 50-day moving average. If not, then let it fade. But ideally, there's going to be some bounce of some sort on this. Most of the time there is. They don't just go straight back down. AGQ was a congrats to those who did short these. A lot of free money, you know. But again, the major lesson here is that never say that a stock can't go higher, okay? As I mentioned, okay, a stock that's extended can often become more extended. So never say it can't go higher. Always follow price action and know that it's okay to take paper cuts along the way. But whenever the backside proves its thesis, that's when you go full size, you know? And I rarely short this, or I rarely short in general, okay? But on trades like this, it's pretty high odds. It's just timing, you know? Timing is everything. In trading, timing is everything, you know? But really with this specific setup, timing is crucial because you don't want to get ahead. You don't want to short the front side of the move. That's how you blow up. And that's what you pretty much saw here. So congrats to those who did short these silver themes. Ideally, all of them, you know, HYMC, congrats. But I don't see these just fading. You know, most of the time they're going to have some bounce of some sort. So that's what I'm watching for next week. And if not, then so be it. You know, let it do its thing. Again, always try to be reactive. Don't try to be predictive, okay? That's the main goal in this stuff I'm trying to teach you. Always be reactive, you know? So congrats. What I'm watching for next week, I'm just going to go over my list here. Galaxy is a potential liquidity trap. I like how it's basing really nicely. I don't really see that much, you know. Last week was kind of the overall markets. Again, always put the overall markets into context. You know, right now we're kind of in this range. You know, of course, the Russell small cap had a nice rally, but I don't know. Like, again, the hardest thing to do, I want to say it over and over again, no one likes hearing this. The hardest thing to do in trading is doing nothing, okay? It's that simple. Like, I go over stocks every day. On these scans, I go over stocks, right? But again, I'm not looking to trade them tomorrow. If they hit a price alert, then so be it. But if I see an absolute 5-star setup, then of course, I'm going to be excited, like I'm being AI. Before it went parabolic, you know, I was calling this before it even happened. You know, plays like this is what gets me excited. You know, numerous times this offered opportunity on the way up. This is the trades you want to live for. You know, the rest is just peanuts. The rest is just a grind. That's really all it is, okay? And I missed this entire. I made money on it, but I missed the initial supernova move to high of $86. Okay, the rest is just a grind. Okay. And that's one thing I'm focusing on this upcoming month, but really in the rest of the year. It's just, even if I only trade 10 days out of the month, you know, I want to be on setups like this, on 5-star setups, okay? Because I noticed that's how you become an elite trader, okay? You make, again, don't worry about having a high win rate. It does not matter in the end. What matters is having a positive expectancy in the long run in your trading system, okay? I know on my winners, I'm going to win big because I track my trades stats wise. Whereas my losses, they're minimized, you know, but I tell myself, okay, if I just trade less and just focus on these 5-star setups, yes, I'll trade less, but in the long run, I'm gonna have more profits. Positive expectancy. So that's one thing I'm aiming for February, is just to only trade 5-star setups, okay? Or, and again, it's not easy. I'm not sitting here and telling you that I've mastered the art of doing nothing. No, it's an everyday battle. I think everyone overtrades. It's normal. You're sitting in front of a screen and you want to feel productive. Therefore, you go into a trade which you know that you shouldn't be in. So I'm not saying that it's not an issue for me. It is. I'm learning. Okay, as a trader, as an individual, it's an ever-learning life process to becoming a better person. That's what trading is. Okay, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself over the course of your life trading. So I just want to put that out before I go over all these stocks. Okay, Gaxi, same thing with AUID, same type of deal. Again, these are I pretty much track momentum with growth stocks. Okay, these are pretty much like a piece of shit stocks, but I'm watching them because I always say this a lot. It's often the most shittiest companies that make the biggest moves. Okay, so I'm watching this. I love how it's basing really well. They had some news with AI theme, contract renders, I believe. So I'm watching it. Okay, it's basing really nicely, and the stock's neglected, so I'm watching it. Over this 190, if not, then so be it. But it's just, again, all these are price alerts. Okay, AAOI is one that kind of did not do as what I think everyone expected. This was a recent AI theme. Long-term chart is ideal. ADR is extremely high. It's in a hot theme play, and again, it broke out of the daily resistance levels. Always look left to see the right. Okay, and again, stocks move in stairs. This is what you really want to see here. It's the basic premise. I've gone over the stock numerous times. A big run up sideways, and even here, and even quite there. But stocks move in stairs, okay? And here we are right now. It's just everyone thought this was a nice chart pattern. This is a textbook trade, textbook range break, okay? And the first day, I thought it was gonna go higher, but it gapped down. But it set up again. It rallied the next day, and now it's kind of building this range. So I'm watching it. It's in this range right now. So we'll see. More sideways the better. I don't like how it's just up here. More sideways. We'll see in that one. SNDK has been the chart of the year so far. Congrats to anyone who did buy this. I pretty much missed this entire move, but it's not okay. It's my fault. With 5-star, I did get long though. Over this range break right here. Very small size, but of course I sold before earnings. That's I kind of regret that. But again, this is pretty much the basic premise of trading right here. This is where the money is made. Okay, you focus on a stock that makes a big move, pulls back for months, weeks, or whatever, and then makes another range break. And again, on their way up, they're gonna have numerous entries along the way. Okay, that's one thing I want to ingrain in your head. Focus on momentum leaders. You'll know which ones are the momentum leaders because they keep running. Okay, keep them on a backlist. They're gonna run, they're gonna base, build a range, do it again, over and over again. Okay, so ideally with this one, again, everyone's wondering why it sold off into earnings, although they crushed earnings, yes, but again, it's already priced in. Okay, this has gone up, like 300% move plus. It's already priced in. That's why it faded on Monday. This past Friday, rather. Had massive earnings beat, revenue growth. They gapped up, of course. Everyone's wondering why it sold off. It's already priced in, okay? I'm not saying the stock can't go higher. It needs to build a range, okay? You don't want to buy it up here. It's above all the moving averages. That's no. You're not going to make no money. Let it build a range. Let it base. Then go from there. But who knows? No entry on that one right now. IBRX is probably the only one I'm really watching for next week. This is basing really well. Textbook basing flag pattern on the daily channel, and I'm watching this. We'll see what happens here. Recent biotech had positive news, I believe, with some phase data. Again, most of these biotechs phase data FDA. Most of these biotechs can run because it's like a story. You know, most of them don't even most of these biotechs don't meet their primary endpoint, so they mostly are gonna fail. But you want a story stock, you know, so it has legs. So I'm watching this, and again, always focus on ADR. ADR is roughly almost 13%. So I'm watching it. I love how it's pretty much the basic premise. You know, the big move, and it tried to break out, but it failed. And now it's basing really nicely on the moving averages, really surfing well. So I'm watching it over 650. If not, it's fine, whatever. Friday had a nice rally off the lows, but we'll see. DXYZ is another one. This is kind of an aerospace theme. They supply devices to SpaceX and other companies like that. So I'm watching it. Again, look left to see the right. I always say, former runners can run again. Okay, this has gone prior, and I always say this again, the best indication of future momentum is the past. Okay, this has gone before, and again, the same shit, okay, happens over and over again. The basing, pull back towards 10-day, base, and a nice flag pattern. So I'm watching this. It's kind of one of those backlist plays. I mean, the chart's there, you know, the chart's there. Look here, it's ran, pulled back on the moving averages, range break. Now we're setting up again. So the pattern's there. It's just whether or not it's a waiting game. That's what trading is, a waiting game. So over ideally 35, 36 area for a potential entry. We'll see on that one. But yeah, it's that one. Let's see some other ones. Let me see here. I'm trying to focus on the ones that just have potential, because I have a lot on a backlist play, which Tesla is one I'm watching. Just a backlist play. The chart is setting up really nicely. It's kind of like this downward flag type of pattern, so I'm watching that one, and we'll see. ELVN is another one. Therapeutics. This is low liquidity play. USCR, talked about the balance plays. Oil has been kind of running lately, considering what's been happening in the overall geopolitical sphere with Iran and Venezuela. So I'm watching this again. Mind you that we had a recent, in 2021, there was oil and energy sector theme play what happened with Russia and Ukraine. So I'm watching this one only because of, again, look left, okay? This feels like it wants to go, and I missed the initial entry right here off the lows. I even put it right here, but I missed it. You know, this you want to buy it just as it's breaking out of these ranges, and for some reason I didn't buy it. But oh well. And we talk about, I rarely talk about this on the channel, but look at the wicks. Okay, this is getting bought up, meaning it's a sign of strength. So I'm watching this. Over $80. This is a nice range here, but I would much prefer this to go sideways even more for a day or two or even a week than for another range break. So I'm watching this one along with other like oil plays, but other than that, I'm just watching them. INDO is one I'm watching. It hasn't been a supernova the past. US HUSA's doing nothing, but there's a lot of oil and energy sector plays I have on my other scan, but they're not hitting yet. But I'm watching USO. It could potentially ignite that, so always have that on the back of your mind. Let me see other dollars. Baidu kind of failed. BE is one I'm watching. It's setting up a nice, again, this downward setup here, flag, and it's an energy theme, so one of the hottest leaders, hottest sectors. And I'm watching it. Again, the stocks move in stairs, okay? And obviously, hindsight's 2020. The best time to buy is off these moving averages, you know. But again, notice how it offered numerous entries along the way. But the best time to buy it's down here. But I'm watching this. Ideally, it's a pullback in base, but it's making a nice range right here on the hourly. So we'll see. It could go either way. See anything else. INTC, I traded Friday. I got stopped out. It happens pretty much was aiming for that high opening range break over this 49 area and build a nice tight range, and I was aiming for a potential opening range high break on that. It kind of failed. The same premise kind of was on BE this past year. As you can see, was it BE? No, it was Oklo. Same type of premise right here. How I had a gap down and had a nice rally off the lows. That was kind of the same premise I was aiming for with INTC, but we did not get that, and it's okay. No big deal. I'm still gonna watch it. Trading happens that way. Let me see something else. RDW aerospace theme. There's really not that much. Eros is another energy play. Lunar is another aerospace on the backlist. SATL, I just completely butchered. I got long this over this range break right here at 380, you know. No, it was the day before it broke out. It was the day before. It was this day right here. I got stopped out the same day, and the next day it went. And looking back at it, it's like, Jesus Christ, that happened. But that's the art of trading. You're gonna get stopped out. And here's one thing I want to tell you, okay? If you get stopped out and the setup's still valid, take the trade, okay? If you get stopped out of a trade, don't just ignore the ticker. No, keep it on a list, set price alerts, because often they come back to your criteria, and you have to take it. You know, you have to take it because that's the market. You know, the market doesn't give a shit if you're right or wrong. It's just gonna go without you. So if you happen to miss a play because you got stopped out, don't take the stock off your watch list. Keep it on a back list, set price alerts, and if it meets your criteria, go for it again. All right. But that's really all. Not that much on scans. So yeah. Other than that, I just been I got deep views. So I've been making some custom scans of myself. We have earnings season coming up, so I'm watching that. I have high growth stocks here. So one I'm watching for Iron. Iron is reporting this week, this Friday. Again, you always want to react to earnings. Do not try to predict. I'm watching this. Ideally, I mean, they have positive expected growth over this upcoming year. Apparently, these are good numbers here. This is what you want to see. Okay, positive growth. So we'll see. It's an AI theme play. They shifted their idea. They're at first Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Then they shifted to AI. Again, you want to focus on stories. Okay? Stories. But yeah, so I'm watching it. Again, you never want to hold a position going into earnings. It's just a gamble. So don't do that. So I'm watching this one. But other than that, I hopefully you'll have a great start of your week of February. Again, just focus on setups. Don't try to overtrade, and just focus on what you're good at. Alrighty. But yeah, that's all you gotta do. Alrighty. But I'll see you next time.